We're delighted to welcome you to the first Ask Us Anything session for Nasscom Foundation TechForGood Awards. Nasscom Foundation was established in 2001 and has been a trailblazer in its domain. As one of the first entities to delve into the tech for good space, we have tirelessly worked towards advocating digital literacy and tech-based skilling across the nation. Our guiding philosophy is rooted in unlocking the power of technology by creating access and opportunities for those who need it the most. This principle drives our efforts and ensures that we leave no one behind in the digital revolution. Our vision is to enable digital transformation to build an inclusive, sustainable, and progressive India. We believe that technology holds the key to creating a brighter future for all, and we are committed to making this vision a reality. This year marks the third edition of the Tech for Good Awards, an initiative by Nasscom Foundation aimed at supporting and celebrating organizations that are leveraging technology to create solutions that help build a better and a more sustainable society. In the previous editions, we received an overwhelming response with about 500 applications across 7 categories, and we are proud to award 14 outstanding winners from both for-profit and not-for-profit sectors. As we look ahead, we are filled with excitement and anticipation. We hope to make this year's awards bigger and better. Moving on to the awards process. Next slide, please. Next slide. A quick process overview of what is it going to be this year, right from when you submit your applications till right till the award ceremony. Currently, our applications are open for you to come and submit your applications on our portal. And the last date for completing and sending in your submitted applications is August 6, 2024. While you submit your applications, there is a parallel review happening on your applications by EY, who are the process advisors for the awards. And we're doing our level of checks in terms of eligibility, etc. And we'll be sending the list of qualified entries to our expert jury. The expert jury is going to happen between July 23rd to August 22nd. They're going to keep evaluating the nominations as and when they receive it. And basis their scores, we'll be determining the top finalists who will be interacting with a grand jury on September 13th. The management will reach out to y'all whenever you are shortlisted through emails, and we'll coordinate with you on the logistics, etc., wherever required. As you all know, we also have a helpline contact ID wherein you can write to us for your queries and questions, and we are happy to address that on the email itself. Next slide, please. A quick participation criteria on who can apply. As I mentioned earlier in our previous editions, this was open for for-profit sectors and not-for-profit sectors only. This year, we have also opened it up for corporate and corporate foundations as well. So for-profit, you need to be a social enterprise or MSME with turnover not exceeding more than 250 INR, 250 crore of INR as on 31st of March 2004. In case if you're a startup, your your turnover should not be exceeding 100 crore. For not-for-profit organization, the entity should be registered under the Indian Trust Act 1882, Societies Registration Act 1860, or should be a part of the Section 8 Companies Act 2013. And your NGO should not be backed by any other corporate. And lastly, coming to the corporate or corporate foundations, these organizations must have a turnover of more than 500 crore as on 31st of March 2024. And any foundation which is backed by a corporate can apply for this award. The general eligibility criteria in terms of the work that you submit to us will be that any kind of work and initiative project that you apply should have been operational for at least 2 years as on 31st of March 2024. So any project initiative that you submit in the application form should be operational in the last 2 years for us to gauge the kind of impact that it's created in the last 2 years. And lastly, you can provide your application only twice in a particular segment. So if you're a for-profit organization, you can select segment in your application form and select any 2 categories that you wish to put your application in. Moving on, these are the categories that are defined for this year's edition. For segment A, which is your for-profit organizations, and your segment B, not-for-profit organization, we have 8 categories. And you can choose to apply in any of the 8 categories. In my successive slides, I'll also take you through in detail on what each of these category means. And the third segment for section C, which is your corporates and your corporate foundation, we have 3 categories, which is social innovation through CSR, tech volunteering, and public and private collaboration. The category for public and private collaboration stays common across all the 3 segments. Moving on for the category definitions. The first category is for inclusion and accessibility, and these categories are applicable only for segment A and B. This category includes initiative and work done towards providing equal access to all, regardless of the background and resources. So any project initiative done around this particular area can be applied under this category. Next category is education, which highlights the use of technology to ensure everyone has equal access to quality education and lifelong learning. Next category that we have is around environmental sustainability. This category is around tech initiatives that tackle environmental challenges and promote sustainability. Certain examples also on the kind of work done under this is also mentioned in the category definition, and these are also very in detail mentioned on the website itself. So you may go through the same before applying for your particular application. The next categories are around health tech. These are tech initiatives that work around improving healthcare access, delivery, and outcomes. These may be around your telemedicine, diagnostic tools, patient management systems, etc. Next category is around livelihood, which honors tech initiatives that empower people with skills and improve job opportunities, promoting financial inclusions and economic growth. Next category is AI for social good, which honors projects that use AI, which is artificial intelligence, to tackle social, environmental, or humanitarian challenges. So cybersecurity category is around all the initiatives that tackle the cybersecurity challenges that we face these days and to ensure that we have digital security for all our systems. Next category, these are the categories which will be purely under segment A and segment B, which is for-profit and not-for-profit. As I mentioned earlier, public and private collaboration initiatives will be for all the 3 segments. And this category for private and public collaboration will honor private organizations which are working with the government and other partners in India to use technology for societal good. Moving on, for segment C, we have social innovation through CSR. This category honors organizations that use innovation and technology in their CSR programs to make a positive societal impact. And lastly, tech volunteering. This category honors organizations that use technology and employ expertise in volunteering to tackle social, environmental, and community issues. So these are the categories that are defined for this year, and these are very clearly mentioned segment-wise on the website itself. Before I move to the application link portal, are there any questions that anybody has? I'm also going to follow the chat box after this. Any questions that we have till here? Yes, I think I see
Yeah.
Ramdas.
Yeah. So one quick question, right? On the corporate, I'm representing Novartis. I'm part of the process automation team. So I think definitely we'll be in the part of corporate, but it's not a dedicated CSR activity, right? What we are trying to do is bring down these overall clinical trial process, the time it will take so that the patients will get the medicines, sooner than they need to wait for a long time. But this is the core of our organization. So do you see this as a CSR? Because it's not a foundation as such, but it's for the social innovation and commitment to the patients, right? Do you see this as a use case or?
Sure. So this particular case that you spoke about, I understand is more towards your actual day-to-day procedures as well. But as you mentioned that this also is a social kind of initiative done towards your patients, I understand that. But as far as it's a social cause that is being addressed, you can very well apply for the award.
So even though we don't have that CSR, we can give it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I see one more question by Mr. Guru Raja.
Yes, yes, yeah. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So my question is, I work with RPG Foundation, and I am placed in Zensar, which is a tech company. So we do a lot of initiatives.
Okay.
So tech volunteering is something that we do. Apart from that, we are doing skill building, health, environmental, biodiversity parks, various initiatives. So which one to apply and where we will fit in as a RPG foundation?
So as
Because
you very
we,
correctly said that
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, as you very rightly said, the tech volunteering is something that you would wish to apply. We would recommend you to go through the category definitions because I'm sure that the kind of work that you do, there's nobody else who can decipher it better than you or the organization that you work with. So I would strongly recommend that you may go through the category definitions and then understand which category does your initiative fall in completely. As I mentioned earlier, you can also apply in multiple categories if required. That's maximum two in one particular segment. So you can go through the definitions and then understand. If there are any further queries, you can come back to us.
Sure. Thank you.
Yes, I'm just going to put this up.
Yeah,
Yes,
hi.
Madhu. Yeah, yeah.
I'm Shiva actually. I'm talking like we are from an NGO called Tamahat, where we work for children with intellectual disability.
Okay.
But thing is, in education, there is also included technology. We
Yeah.
are not in technology wise, we are not at that level because this is an intellectual disability NGO, right? So, do we match for education? Like, how can we apply for livelihood? What will be the
So,
livelihood? We are doing also skill development program for our caregivers. They are the part of skill development.
so what is the involvement of tech in these two sectors is what you need to focus on.
Yes.
From
No,
from,
no.
from what
When
I
I
understand.
saw there is an
Yeah.
education, it's a bridging gap and also included technology, right? But we are
Yeah.
not using any technology in education because they are into disability people and even they are into intellectual disability.
So this award basically is how you leverage technology for social good, right? So I understand that the commendable work that you're currently doing is great, but then there has to be a technological aspect to it for you to apply for the awards because that's the crux of it.
Okay. And livelihood, we are doing that activity livelihood for our parents and there is an or for adults, disability adults we are.
So there is no tech involvement in both your initiative for livelihood
Yes,
and for education.
yes, yes.
There is no app that you're using. There is no
We
tech
have
elements.
started, but it's not. It's still in development stage only. Not
Okay,
at.
okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Then I don't think that it'll be a feasible option for you to apply this year. But
Okay.
I'm assuming that the app that you are currently developing will be ready by next year, and that you can definitely apply for the next edition because we're definitely looking at tech solutions and the kind of initiative that you spoke about looks to be very commendable, and we would want to read about it from a tech
Okay.
perspective as well in the next edition.
Okay. Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you. Yes, I see Madhu's hand up.
Yeah, I
Yes.
have two questions. I'm from the intersection, and we are basically focusing on the education. So
Okay.
we are working with the technology. Through the technology, we provide welfare unlocks to the poor peoples through by providing them education. So we are applying for that only, and I have two questions. That one is that is there is any demonstration, physical in-person meeting, or any virtual demo session is going to happen for this, or the document we submit on the basis of that only the review will be going to happen.
So, when you send us the application right now, the first level of evaluation will happen which will not involve any kind of interaction from your end. That will simply be happening basis what you have submitted to us in terms of your application form and the supporting documents that you give. Right. And that's exactly why we've emphasized on the portal as well to give us as many supporting documents as you can to strengthen your entry. Because in the first level, the application form and supporting document is what is going to be evaluated. However, having said that, if you get shortlisted for the grand jury round, you will have an interaction with a grand jury, where you can speak to the grand jury about the kind of initiative that you have done, the kind of impact, and they will then ask you questions if they have any. So that is what we were going to follow this year.
Okay. One more thing is that the running technology is more productive or the implementing. We have two kind of things that one is our one or two platforms are running and we are creating one more. So which should be better to represent or to give the.
The technology that is currently running and has shown significant impact till now. Any
Okay.
technology which is currently getting developed is in the ideation stage, cannot be applied for the awards for now. So
Okay.
anything that is already done and you can showcase an impact, you can showcase the functionalities of the technology and how is it associated to your social a good initiative is what you can apply with.
Okay, got it. Okay, one last thing is that I have seen on your website that there is a jury award section.
Yeah.
On there, you have mentioned that women-led tech initiative. I actually want to just clarification on this. That
Yeah.
is related to award or is it help us to anything on anything?
So jury awards are basically not open for call for application. These are going to be taken strictly by the jury. So jury will take a call on in terms of their own expertise that they have. They will be coming up with the winner in that category. So there is no role of application form being involved or anybody who can come and apply for it. Having said that, if you're interested in getting yourself up there, you can write to us and we can just see how we can get about it. So you can write to us on the Tech for Good contact helpline email ID that we have, and we'll see how we can take this forward from there.
Okay, okay, I got it. Thank you.
Any other questions?
One more question. So we can apply two categories, right? From corporate
In one
perspective.
segment. In
Yeah.
one
So
segment, you can apply only for two categories.
yes. Now coming to the public and private partnership, we are trying to build some kind of technology platform which will help in reducing, especially in pharma area, anti-bribery or unethical practices. But it's not only government, right? It's with doctors, all the ecosystem who are involving in the pharma. So do you think this is a case that we can also submit?
So the collaboration category is primarily either with the government or any other government body. I'm not saying that it needs to be only with the government of India, but if the doctors or any other association that you are getting associated with is a government body, you can definitely apply for that category
It's
as well.
because
But
all the
yes,
all the regulatory authorities and
yes,
the
yes,
doctors could
yes.
be, yeah, okay.
Yeah, the doctors could be, say, maybe at a very good position or in a government hospital. Any association with a government body, not just the
Mm.
government, is what applies in that category.
Okay, clear. Thank you.
I see Syed. I can't read the whole name. Mr. Syed Hayatullah.
Yes, ma'am.
If I,
I am
yeah.
from Prayaran Sanstha, and we work in a different sector like women empowerment, livelihood, and child rights. So basically, I have a question like in Odisha, we are
Okay.
working providing technology to farmers. Like previous farmer using old traditional farming equipment, but nowadays we are opened agriculture tool bank, and in
Okay.
agriculture tool bank we provide latest equipment for the agriculture process and from the at very low price, so farmers are able to produce more in a cheaper rate, and production has been increased. And we also focus on organic farming and activities which is going, and which is very beneficial from them. So it is comes under technology or tech for goods awards.
Yes, absolutely does come under that because you're technically upscaling,
Yes,
upskilling a section of the society by giving them ways to, upgrade their
yes,
lifestyle, or,
ma'am.
you're just helping them upscale their entire livelihood. So definitely
Yes,
by the use of tech again. So it is very much eligible to be participated in the awards.
okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions? I'll just quickly see the chat and then we can move to the application portal run through. Um, The last date of submitting your application is 6th of August.
Okay, now we can move to the demo directly. We are
Sure.
taking care of the chat.
Okay, just give me a minute. I will need a minute for that.
Our website is live. This is for all the participants. Please go through the same. We have entered all the information. There are categories, the definitions, all the segment information is available. Please go through that in case if there is anything, maybe not at this point of time, at a later given point of time, you have any query. The contact ID is available. You can write to us. In case if there is a situation that you may have multiple initiative and you're not sure in which category you will fit in well, you can share that information with us also, and we'll guide you to which category you will be best applicable for. So although the deadline for the awards is August 6th, but we'd encourage you to apply as early as possible so that there is enough time provided for us to go through the entries, and we can also give you enough time to make corrections if at all we require, so that your entries are in a good pace when it's been shared with the jury for evaluation.
Thank you, Pragya. I'm going to now take you through a quick brief run through on how you're going to apply on the website, how does the website look like, etc. This is the microsite, and Pragya has also put in the link for this microsite on the chat box. As you can see, we have mentioned the segmentation, the categories, etc., everything here. For you to start applying for the awards, you need to click on the button Apply Now here on the top right of the portal. Just 1 second, yeah. Once you click on Apply Now, you will be seeing two options, which is already registered or new user. If you have already registered and you want to log in and start filling your application form, you can click on already registered, use your credentials that been sent to you on your email, on your registered email ID, and start filling the form. If you're a new user, you will click on new user. Here they'll ask you to select the segment pertaining to the kind of organization that you belong to, your company name, your full name, etc. Basic details. And they'll also ask you to create a password here, which will be used by you while logging in. Please ensure that you put in the correct email ID and email ID and contact number, because in case if you're shortlisted and your details are incorrect, it gets highly challenging for us to reach out to you, and we do not want a deserving participant to miss out only because the details were the details that were given were incorrect. Your state, city, please create your password here. Create an easy password, although this password will be given to you on your email, but just create something that you may remember. Once you create the password, you can click on submit, and an email will be shared to your registered email ID with a verification link. Just going to stop sharing my screen. 1 second. Yes. Once you receive the verification email on your email ID, there's a link that you need to click on to start filling your application form. Once you click on that link, they'll ask you for your ID and password, which you had created while registering, for you to start logging in and filling your application form. The user ID is the email, your registered email ID that you have inserted for the awards, and the password is what you just created. In case you have forgotten your password, it is already there in the verification email that we shared with you. If you still don't find the email, there is an option of forgot password through which we'll resend you the password that you had created. Once you click on the login, you'll have this particular page, which is called your dashboard. You can click on apply now and start filling the application form. The first section is to select your category, the category in which you would want to put in your application. Select the category and click on save and proceed. The first section is the organizational details that you need to mention. Please note whatever details were mentioned earlier while you register have been already auto-populated here, so you need not refill it again. Only the information that is additional has to be filled by you. So details about your organization, the year of incorporation, etc. Once you enter all the details, there's a tabular format in which you will also be putting in certain quantifiable data that we need in terms of the number of employees, your revenue, the budget allocated to tech initiatives, etc. And you can click on save and proceed. You'll be only able to save and proceed once you've filled all the mandatory fields. So please ensure that you fill all the fields correctly. The second section is speaking about the initiative details, the project initiative that you're applying with, the name, the start date, and the end date. Please ensure that you again put in the correct information, because if you don't, your application may either get disqualified from the awards, or there's a lot of to and fro involved in getting in touch with you, getting the information. But in all likelihood, the application will get disqualified if the information is incorrect. The next section is about the case study, which this section asks you to give us a brief about what is the initiative, how have you leveraged technology in your initiative, what's been the impact, how do you impact to scale it, etc. Please note, we have already also given you a section of save as draft, which means that while filling the form at any point in time, if you want to stop and fill it on a later date because you don't have adequate information currently, you can select the save as draft option, and then you can close the browser. You can come back again, log in, and start filling your form from where you left. The section for supporting documents will include the incorporation certificate for this case, which is a mandatory document for our verification purposes. Please ensure you put the correct document. And for all the other supportings, please ensure you put as much as supportings as you can put to strengthen your entry, because these supporting will be then seen by the jury while evaluating your entry. And the last section is the declaration, which is a mandatory checkbox that you need to put before submitting your form. Please go through the terms and conditions on the website, which is mentioned before you submit your application form. The link of the same is there on the website, and also while you finally submit your form here. Once you click on submit, your form will be submitted and it'll appear on the dashboard as you see here. If you have any questions with respect to the applications, the timelines, the categories, please feel free to reach out to us on the contact email ID that we have on the website. The website has the contact ID and all the other information that's required from you for an application perspective as well. We really thank you for being a part of this Ask Us Anything session today. Yes, I think I have another question from Sana.
Hi, Prerna. I just had a quick question. When I was trying to fill out the form, I realized that it was tough for me to look ahead and see the kind of questions that were coming up so I can prepare all together. Almost like, so for example, if I want to see what's happening in section 3, but I'm still filling out section 2, I'm not able to do that unless I completely fill out section 2. So is it possible at all? Do you have a document where all the questions have been written down so I can write them all, and then it's much easier for me to upload them to the portal altogether?
Thank you for that feedback, Sana, and we'll definitely keep that in mind. For now, I would recommend you to just fill some details and go to section 3 if required, because I understand section 3 is the most tricky one where you need to understand the subjective subject matter that you need to put in there. So we'll definitely try and incorporate this in the next edition, wherein you can save and proceed without having to fill your mandatory information. The whole and sole perspective to put in is because if you submit at the end and you have not filled the earlier details, it just gets very confusing for the participant to locate the missing fields
Absolutely.
as well,
Yeah,
right? So, but
absolutely.
having said that, we'll just figure out a way in which, this particular thing that you're talking about can be addressed in the next edition.
No problem. In the meantime, do you have a document where all the questions have been put down that you could share with us?
Sure, sure. We can
Yeah,
we can share that with you. You can just share your email ID with us. You can just send us an
yeah,
email on the Tech for Good ID, and
for
we'll
sure.
reply, yeah, on that with the document.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. I think Ashutosh had a question.
Ma'am, can any student participate in the
I
competition?
It has to be are you associated with an NGO, etc.? Because anybody below 18 cannot apply for the awards.
I am
If you
above
want,
18.
okay. And which NG are you associated to an NGO? Are you working somewhere, etc.? Because it is not an individual based award, it's an organizational award. So even if you win, it's the data doesn't speak about you, speaks about the organization that you represent, right? So are you working for an NGO, for an MSME, startup, corporate? What is that?
I am not particular like doing any work for the NGOs, but like I have very good relation with NGOs, so I will talk with them, so that can be happen.
So you can
But
apply with that NGO, with the kind of work the NGO does. Okay, there cannot be an individual application from your perspective. It has to be from an organization's perspective. What are the kind of initiatives your NGO, your organization has taken, and what is the kind of impact it's created? So it's purely from an organization perspective.
okay, ma'am, my feedback is please do include student as well in the next form.
Sure, we'll definitely take that feedback, and in the next edition, we'll definitely try to also have some scope for students to apply as well.
Yeah, because student doesn't have doesn't have a opportunity for it. Always NGOs, corporate companies like that, they have only opportunities.
Absolutely agreed. And thank you so much for joining this session and giving us this valuable feedback, which will help us expand our scope for the next edition as well. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, I have Mr. Ramdas.
One quick question. You mentioned that incorporation certificate. So is it also required for the public limited
No.
companies? No, right?
So,
Corporates.
while you go through your respective section, that segment that you're applying for, every segment has a different document that we ask for.
Okay.
So
Okay.
obviously, I understand for a public organization, it may not be an incorporation certificate. It can be, say, a registration certificate, a trust deed for an NGO, etc. So the whole and sole purpose of that particular document is to tell us the incorporation date A, and also to tell us that the entity is currently in operation.
Okay. Understood. Because we don't have that. That's very
No, no
old company.
problem.
Yeah.
You can also give us the GST certificate if you have one. If not, any document that adheres to the 2 points that I just spoke about, you can submit that and we can take that into consideration.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I can see a question. Could you tell us a little bit about the required case study video? What level of detail on the initiative is required or is in a general overview? Okay, so when you are writing your case study, it fairly covers 3 to 4 pointers. One is about the initiative. In the about the initiative, you need to cover what was the problem statement that you wish to address with the initiative, followed by the kind of innovation that has been incorporated by you while implementing the initiative. what were the factors that were taken into consideration while implementing the initiative. So a whole and soul summary in the first question will involve how did you do the initiative, why did you do the initiative, and is there any innovative aspect involved in the initiative. The second question involves around how do you leverage technology? So how have you used technology while implementing the initiative? Okay. Third is the impact, the kind of impact that your initiative has created on your various stakeholders, like your if you're an NGO, your TG, the society, if it's a health tech initiative, the patient, etc. So the kind of impact that it had created on the TG is what needs to be covered in the third question for impact. And last question is around the sustainability and scalability of the initiative is how do you intend to scale this initiative for the next 2 to 3 years? Because we're also looking at felicitating initiatives which are not just for the year or for the next year, but which are a long running initiative as well, right? But it needs to go for a longer year. So these are the 4 important factors that you need to keep in mind while you're filling your application form. I hope that answers your question, Ria.
Uh, Hi, sorry, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Oh no. Uh, it was very helpful, but I was asking specifically about the attached video for the case study. The
Okay.
required video attachment. Just what would your expectations for that be?
Correct. So in the supporting document section, we have a place where we have asked you to attach the case study video. So basically, the case study video involves, in case if you have a ready document, because when you do an initiative, you have a document, a report which talks about the planning stage, the implementation stage, right? The risks that you had, the entire planning and the entire workflow of the initiative along with the impact. So if you have any such document which can inculcate all these details either in a video or a presentation without having to read through the application form, or you think it just also speaks about details that you may have not mentioned in your application, then you can attach such a document in that section. So it's a whole and soul document which you would have created from inception, which may include details which you cannot mention in the application form because it's too much to write. So you can mention that in your end-to-end case study video. It can be a presentation, it can be a video, it can be a Word document, whatever.
Thank you. Yeah.
Any other questions? Before we leave, I would just request everybody to switch on their cameras. We would really want to take a snap of today's session. If you could please switch on your video. And I also would want to introduce Anubhuti Jain and Gunjan Lal from the Nasscom Foundation team, who have played a significant role in getting this initiative to life. And they're just here to greet you today, and we'll have a quick group picture.
So, just a quick one. Thanks, Pragya. Thank you, Prerna. Hi, everyone. My name is Gunjan. As Prerna introduced, me and Anubhuti, we are from Nasscom Foundation. I would like to thank Pragya and Prerna for conducting the session. We really appreciate the time you took to kind of answer the questions and explain the application process. Your advice has also been, as a process advisors, has been like really crucial for the Tech for Good Awards. Additionally, I would also like to thank, CGI, who's been a constant support for Nasscom Foundation. And without their support, the awards would have also not been possible. And thank you all for attending the session. We look forward to receiving your application. As Prerna mentioned, we do have our, the query email ID wherein you could drop your query. Any issue while submitting the application, feel free to write back to us. The team will get in touch, and yeah, we'll be conducting more sessions. So look forward to receiving your application. Thank you, Prerna and Pragya, once again. Thanks, Atlas.
We'll quickly have a photograph if everybody has switched on their videos, please. Okay, I'm just.
I think we have to do some emoji or else it won't AI won't read. So You're posting it somewhere.
Yes.
All can do emoji or something. So that would
Yes, you all can do it. I'll just click the photograph then. Thank you. Thank you once again for joining this session, and we look forward to doing more such interactive session to obviously first to to make you understand the process, but most importantly to also take feedback on how we can do better in the next editions as well. So thank you so much for being a part of this session, and for any queries, please feel free to reach out to us.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.